Hello YouTube, this is your girl, Little Miss Louie V. Today I will be doing this video maybe to help the ones who are actually thinking about purchasing their very first Louis Vuitton handbag, or either getting the Louis Vuitton handbag for maybe as a gift, or just something as maybe an first entry level bag. The bag that I will be going to detail about is the Speedy 30 monogram handbag. So yeah, let's get started. This is the box that my Louis Vuitton monogram Speedy came inside. Isn't this a beautiful box, you guys? I think so. It's got simply Louis Vuitton on it. For the ones who are new to Louis Vuitton, each of Louis Vuitton handbags come with their own dust bag, which is this bag right here that I am holding. It will simply just have the Louis Vuitton writing on it. And the thing about this bag right here is it's actually given to you in order to maintain the freshness of the bag, or to prevent cracking of the leather whenever not in use. But this is what it looks like. And here she is, the Speedy Monogram 30. And the bag will actually come folded up just like this right here. Since I'm not using her, I have decided to place her back into the dust bag. Alright, let's unfold her. This is what she looks like unfolded. Sort of like, it's almost like a little house. It takes like in a house shaped form. Okay, now I'm about to go into a little bit more detailing about the bag, details about the bag. So, with all LV Speedy handbags, they take only one piece of leather and they wraps it all around. Even with the Demaray bean bags, Demaray Azure bags, they wrap all one piece of leather all the way around, the whole entire canvas all the way around. And that's the reason why I own all authentic LV bags, and which are all the Speedy bags. I know you will see one side everything is gonna be upright, and the opposite side is gonna be like downward. Even with the checkers with the Demaray bean and Demaray Azure. So on this side right here, you can see the LV prints are actually upward, and on the opposite side it is downward. See how that wraps all the way around like that. How neat is that? And the thing about Louis Vuitton, they actually they're very particular. They're very particular about the placement of all the monograms or the logos or anything that they make. Also with they're very particular with the stitching. By the way, they are very symmetrical with their designs, and the canvas is absolutely just beautiful. And as you can see right here, my handles are a little bit darker of a shade than these leaves right here on each side. And the reason of that being is simply because with all Louis Vuitton handles, except for like the Damaray bean lines, I know for a fact, maybe some of the men handbags, ones like black handles or something, those do not change because they are considered as treated leather. But I know for a fact on these monogram bags and like the Damaray Azure bags, the handles are untreated. So you can see right here that the vachetta has, the leather has actually gotten a little bit darker, because when you very first buy the bag, the handles will be really pale, like almost like a off-white. Like you can see right here, these two leaves right here, I mean, the shades would be like maybe like 10 times lighter than this right here. And with the handles, when you first buy the bag, these handles will actually be red, like a deep dark red. And right here you can tell my bag is a little worn. The red is starting to actually oxidize more to like this really darker, like honey golden brown. And let's go into the stitching. Louis Vuitton does an excellent job on their stitching. If a bag is considered like defective, if one is stitching something is off, they would not even put that bag on the market at all. The craftsmanship, handcraftsmanship is amazing. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. You can tell authentic Louis Vuitton handbag because they always use a certain amount of stitching. So like say for example right here on these leaves, 1, 2, on this little stitching right here, going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going across that way right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shaped like a V. And they always use like this yellow thread, and you can see it right here. And everything matches up. Everything matches up. Even on here where this lock is at, and you will actually all the Speedy bags, they do give you a lock. Like my lock is 447, and I also have the matching 2 keys that goes along with this lock. And this simply is for whenever you're out, maybe in the public or in the open or traveling. You can always just zip the bag up, and this little leaf right here also has a hole in it, and you can just kind of match that up and place the lock through this hole right here. And even on this little leaf right here, notice how they have everything so symmetrical. It is 4 little stitches into each groove right here, making the shape form into a perfect V. On the opposite side, you have the same thing, except underneath that right there, you have this letter R right here. You also have Louis Vuitton, and if you have Paris, and you have actually the country that it is actually made in. And mine, unfortunately, was the USA. But I'm very blessed and very thankful, grateful to actually be able to afford this handbag. Going on the inside, it's like all canvas. You can scratch, you can actually hear that. The great craftsmanship of the bag. And you also have like one little D-ring right here that you can actually attach a key or anything of your preference. It's important to you right here. And unfortunately on these bags, you actually have only one pocket flap that you're giving that's unzipped. If you notice on this inside right here, the lining is also symmetrical, And you can see my pocket actually have a little bit more patina as well on the inside. Because the bag oxidizes. All the leather it will eventually oxidize, making it look more vintage, a vintage look. And on the inside, right underneath this pocket flap, will be your date code. This marks the authenticity of the bag, where the bag was, what country the bag was made, and also the date when the bag was actually made. Notice mine right here it reads SD0160, and what the SD stands for, the first two letters is the country, and the SD represents the USA. And mine's read 06, which is the first and third numbers. That's going to mean either the month of the year or the week of the year. And the 10, which is the second and fourth numbers, going to represent the year, which mine was purchased in 2010. But the thing about that, Louis Vuitton always comes up with like a different method of decoding their bags, and simply it's because of all the counterfeits out there. I mean, it's crazy how much Louis Vuitton is counterfeited, and it's just awful. I mean, you have some of the knockoff bags that looks almost similar to the real thing, but you know, you have to actually have that eye for authenticating bags and knowing kind of like what you're buying. One good way is actually go to Louis Vuitton website, take a look at the bags, all the details, or maybe going to a boutique, because you can get some off of eBay, maybe a little bit cheaper, maybe a couple $100s, a little bit less. But the thing about that is you have to be very careful with that, because simply if you spend a whole lot of money on eBay and you end up receiving the bag and you cannot return the bag, and the bag ends up as a counterfeited bag, a knockoff bag. If you think about it, it's not worth it, because you spent all this money, you know, and you could have spent just a little bit more and bought the real deal from Louis Vuitton boutique or off Louis Vuitton website. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. This is what she looks like again. You can fit quite a good amount in this bag, but since I have the Louis Vuitton Speedy 35 and the Speedy 40, I very rarely do use this bag any longer, because it has become simply, it's a little too small for me. But it's still a great bag as an entry-level bag, or if you're just thinking about that very first Louis Vuitton purchase, or maybe a gift for your wife, or anniversary gift, something for a girlfriend, then it's a thumbs up. It's a great bag. All right, let me have the receipt for it right here. And back then, when I purchased this bag, which was March 6, 2010, the bag cost me $738.30. And this is what the LV receipt will actually look like. As you can see, I have actually darkened out my credit card payment information. As you can still see that right there. It's a client copy. And down at the bottom, we actually have your name and your associate's name. If you turn it on the opposite side, it actually will have, on like the back of the folding, it will actually have where it's like the address of the boutique. And you can see that mine was actually purchased in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was bought inside of the South Park Mall. And that's located in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the ones who are actually probably not familiar with that location. Yeah, I'm a Carolina girl. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to notify me through either email or just post a comment down below.